very hearty and a warm good morning to the entire audience. A very august gathering I see in front of me. And at the outset, let me thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S.K. Mehta sir, who is an educationist par excellence, and Commandant Ladakh Scout Regimental Center, Colonel Parihar, who's been a wonderful professional, I would say, an excellent professional, a soldier, as well as a down-to-earth gentleman. So I've been, I'm really proud to have been associated with Colonel Parihar. And secondly, I think in the second row, I see a number of my comrades, people who have, really have distinction in the field of, I would say, warfare. And I have had the opportunity to see those people from close quarters. I have associated with those people, and I really feel wonderful to be associated with them. And as it was brought out, I really feel proud to be associated with two finest regiments of the Indian Army. Firstly, the regiment which nurtured and groomed me, that is the Assam Regiment, and secondly, the Ladakh Scouts, with whom I had the opportunity to see war. And today, I really feel proud, to be associated with these two regiments. And secondly, I shall be sharing my battle experiences with you. And I just request you to bear with me, because in case, it becomes slightly lengthy, I don't think you'll mind it, because it's something which is very experiential, and it's, the characters are built in adversity, I would say. So war is, or a battle is an actual acid test of the soldier. So learning from a soldier, I think, is something which is very great. So in that note, I would like to go to my presentation proper. And the name of the operation which I conducted with Foxtrot Company of Indus Wing Ladakh Scouts was Operation Rockfall. Operation Rockfall gets its name from the area, Operation Rockfall, general area where Foxtrot Company carried out their operations. And it was a part of Indus Wing Ladakh Scouts. And now, coming down to the second slide, I shall be conducting my presentation in the following manner. Firstly, I shall be telling you about the events before induction. Thereafter, I will come down to induction into operational area of Foxtrot Company. I will tell you briefly about the task information, which will be pertaining to the enemy as well as own. And thereafter, then I come to the criticality of the operations. It's very important because you should know what was the importance of that piece of land where Foxtrot Company was being carried out their operations. And thereafter, then we'll come down to the execution part, which I'm sure everybody would find interesting. Thereafter, we'll come down to the casualties, recoveries, and awards, both pertaining to self as well as the enemy. And again, it is very important. We know the significance of the operation, so I'll be dwelling, for a short period on the significance of the operations, and finally, we'll go down to the lessons learned, because a young crowd, which I see over here, the impressionable crowd and the young dynamic leaders of tomorrow, students as well as the NCC cadets, I think it will be worthwhile in case they learn from, my battle experience. And finally, we'll come to the conclusion. Now, events before induction. I was a company commander, Kevin Fokche. It's a company which overlooks China in eastern Ladakh. So, when the infiltration at a very major scale took place, I was a company commander of a Foxtrot company of industry in Ladakh Scout. So I was called from there, and thereafter I was given charge of a dog company. Now, when you say dog company, it sounds very, vague. You might say because normally we had Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta companies in the army. So a dog company was named so because the troops, they were basically a mixture or an amalgamated troops, a body of troops. Actually, they were basically remnants from all the companies. These people, I would say they were the leftovers because approximately 80% of the Ladakh Scouts troops, they had already been pushed to the battlefront. So, therefore, ad hoc company and thereafter, the commanding officer, Colonel Chandok, in his wisdom, he would have thought, to have a better command and control of the sub-unit at that critical juncture. A Ladakhi officer, in case I was also very fortunate to have been there, so he would have felt much more comfortable in having me as a company commander because I could have related better with the troops hailing from the same place and the same region, nothing more. And thereafter, the state of morale of the boys, it was exceedingly low. As we all know, whenever we are faced with adversity and unknown, lots of rumors take place. So, the kind of rumors which were going around at that particular moment, like the boys, they were saying, ye Pakistani jo hai wahan pe, these people, they are giants, or they are absolute marksmen, bilkul goli jo hai, unka jo nishanebazi hai sada hua hai, they hit straight between your eyes. So these kinds of rumors, they were doing around, and I was very fortunate to have, a very seasoned senior JSO in the form of Sardar Saini Stockdal. So we had a conversation. He came and told me, sir, ye ladko ki halat hai, kafi halat kharab, so we have to do something about it. So then I asked him for a suggestion as to what can be done in these kind of circumstances. So he said, Dalai Lama is here in this station. We are very fortunate. So faith plays a tremendous role in the life of a soldier as well as everybody, because in our country we are people who live on faith. So I said, yeah, we'll seek his audience as a body of troops, and thereafter we went to the Secretary of Dalai Lama. Thereafter we organized an audience with him, and on 25th of May, prior to the induction, just one day prior, we were given an audience by His Holiness the Dalai Lama to the entire company, probably 100-odd boys. We stood in front of him, he came out of this abode, and thereafter he touched, and he gave sacred thread to each and every one of the boys. And after the audience of the Dalai Lama, with his blessings, I could see a perceptible change in the energy level of the boys. They were absolutely transformed. So it was a fantastic start for us to have blessings of Dalai Lama, whom we say is a God incarnate for us. So it was really fantastic. And now coming down to the slide, I talked about the induction into operational area. So from there on 26th of May, we went to the operational area, and we were basically supposed to be reinforcing the existing Ladakh Scouts troops who were already there in the operational area, based in a place which was known as Handenbrock. So Handenbrock, as you would be aware about the general area, from the road end, you had to go through a very unique village known as Hanutang, and thereafter you reach Handenbrock. So Handenbrock was the rear from where operations were launched onto the battlefront, which were around 6 to 7 kilometers away on the line of actual control. So on 26th, we reached, I think most probably Hanutang, and thereafter we reached Handenbrock. After a gap of a day on 28th, we were there in Handenbrock, which was the rear basically for all the operational troops. Okay, now thereafter, having reached there, I reported to the officer there, and he told me, Sonu, you are being given this task. You are supposed to take a surveillance and domination patrol and establish an OP in general area Chorpatna. So the actual area was known as Ring Contour, and it was falling on the west side of Chorpatra, maybe around 2 to 3 kilometers as the crow flies. And in case you are getting into an operation, it's very important that you have relevant information about the deployment of own troops, because since I was coming from new place altogether, I didn't have any idea about the deployment of own troops also. And secondly, you have to know about the enemy. So coming down to the information part, next slide. Information about own. I was told there was already a company which had been pushed to the battlefront from where I was supposed to be going. And as far as the enemy was concerned, I was told the feature where I was supposed to be operating, a large, concentration of enemy was taking place, though I was told the ridge line, in specific where I was supposed to be operating, was unoccupied. So this was the information which I was told. Okay. It's very important that I tell you again about the criticality of the operations. Firstly, area Chorpatra, it's a very low-lying pass in, amongst the very formidable features which were there. So from there, enemy could have pushed large number of troops as well as, medium RT guns. So it was very important that we take hold of Chorpatra. And Chorpatra, secondly, it had, in case enemy could have, entered Chorpatra and come on to our side, they could have used an infiltration route which goes towards Turtuk. And Turtuk, we have a Siachen brigade, which is again very critical. So they could have influenced the battle there in Turtuk. And therefore, our operation assumed importance because we were fighting against time to stop the enemy from occupying or capturing Chorpatra. Next slide. Now I'll come down to the execution of operations, which is actually the meat. And I'll relate it to you with the help of a photograph. I've taken the liberty of superimposing my operation on this photograph, though this is not the actual terrain. It is a similar looking piece of terrain. Okay, so you see that photograph in front. Legend, or it has been depicted in a symbolic form. In case you see the dotted lines, red, going from left to right, that is the marking of line of actual control. And thereafter you see those circles on both sides. You have a blue circle on one side and a red circle on the other side. They are depicting the atom base. The blue circle shows own base, that is the Indian base. Thereafter the red circle shows the Pakistani administrative base. From there they carry out any kind of replenishment, maybe in terms of supplying war-like material to the soldiers who are fighting the actual battle. And thereafter then you see a line which is strung around the features, which I already told you is the MSC. You see those dotted dots, red dots, they are depicting the enemy deployment, and the blue dots, they depict the deployment of own, soldiers who were in an assaulting role. And then the triangle shows the place where I got ambushed actually. So I'll be, covering the entire operation with the help of these symbols. And then again you see that route. That was the route which we had taken. In case you go down, it follows, it goes, the route dips down and maybe around 6 to 7 kilometers on actual ground. Handenbrock is, 6 to 7 kilometers from this general area where operations were carried out. So we marched gradually climbing up 6 to 7 kilometers and thereafter reached this operational area. So now, okay, so chronologically, this I covered my operations. 28, as I already told you, BD Skandan block. 29, as per the information, I was told to confirm the information of presence of enemy, across the LC in general area so far. So, I was told to take out a surveillance and domination patrol comprising of 1 GCU and 10 other ranks. I selected the best lot. I had just 40 boys with me, so I selected then Nayab Subhadar Kundu Kodre, who was a fantastic soldier, a very brave man, and under his command, I chose, we had to have, in a section normally we have 2 groups, LMG group and a rifle group. So LMG group, since it is the major weapon of the section, those 10, we have to have, a good LMG detachment. So the detachment commander was Havaldar Sonam Rizin, and the other boy, the LMG number 2 was Ranjan. I don't remember his rank exactly, but today he is employed with London School. So he was the boy who was chosen because of his raw energy and boldness. And thereafter the other boys also, they were a selected lot. And taking these boys, that is on 29th, I came to the operational area. You see that blue circle. We established the atom base comprising of tentage and the whole lot of war-like material like ammunition, rations, etc. And we dumped it there inside the tent. And thereafter, then I was supposed to carry out a recce of the enemy areas to see the presence of the enemy troops there, to confirm it rather, and thereafter report back. So I took a boy, climbed those features which you see in front, I think maybe near the blue dot, which you see, the upper blue dot, and slightly further. I couldn't see any kind of movement. So then, after having tasked the JCO and the 10 boys, I came down because I was told to fall back. I was not supposed to have stayed with the surveillance and domination patrol. These people, they were supposed to have been carrying surveillance and report back every day as to the activities of the enemy. So I came back, and on 30th of May, when I was there in Handland Block, I think most probably I was outside, I got a radio message. The radio operator, he came running to me and he said, "Saab, ek frantic message आ रहा है मेरे वहां से रेडियो सेट से, and I think most probably just from the operational area, somebody wants to talk to you." I went to the radio set, and the boy, I didn't, at that time recognize as to who he was. He told me, "Saab, बुरी तरह से गिर गए हैं, बहुत आर्टी शेडिंग और मेरे को गोली आ रहा है वहां से, तो रेनफोर्समेंट चाहिए, नहीं तो हम लोग खत्म हो जाएंगे बिल्कुल ही। दुश्मन जो है हर एक साइड से फायर कर रहा है और मुझे पता नहीं चल रहा कहां से फायर आ रहा है। मैंने कहा यार थोड़ा सही इंफॉर्मेशन थोड़ा बताओ, किस तरह का क्या हथियार, what kind of deployment and layout of the enemy can you gauge?" He says nothing. I just cannot tell you anything. We are absolutely pinned down, and something has to be done. So then, sensing the emergency, I spoke to the officer in charge over there, sub-sector commander. Then he was Colonel Naikabade. I told him, "Sir, the situation dire hai, I have to go. They don't have an officer over there to coordinate things. And in this sort of situation, as a company commander, I cannot be, at this place. मजे ले रहा हूँ वहां पे और मैं वहां पे मेरे लड़के जो हैं खतरे में हैं." So he said, "सोनम, मैं बताता हूँ, थोड़ा रुक जा, अभी कोई कॉन्फ्रेंस वगैरह चल रहा है, I have to take permission from the brigade commander there, 70 brigade. He came under 70 brigade for operations." So he said, "अभी कोई